The Adam Smith Awards are recognised globally as the industry benchmark for best practice and innovation in corporate treasury. With this podcast series, we're going to take a deep dive into each of the winning solutions of 2021 and hear from the creators who made it all happen.
Hello, I'm Meg Coates, Joint Publisher and Head of Operations at the Treasury Today Group. In this episode, we take a look at the overall and highly commended winners in our Best Investing Solution category. We've extended the category this year to not only include short, but medium and long-term investments to showcase how organisations have optimised and diversified their investment portfolios. Particularly important in a low negative interest rate environment. We look at how they have addressed the trade-off between yield, liquidity, cash preservation and counterparty risk, or perhaps considered ESG factors when investing. And the overall winner of our Best Investing Solution is Manuele Rosinoli, Group Treasurer at Farfetch. Congratulations.
Yes, really well done.
I'm Alexander Krenitskiy, Treasury Manager Cash Management at Farfetch. Firstly, I would like to thank our JP Morgan advisors and the Adam Smith Awards team for letting us showcase our work and recognize all other participating teams who have tackled a volatile global landscape head-on, demonstrating creative and innovative solutions that are leading the way for their peers across the industry. Winning the Adam Smith Award is not only a great recognition amongst our peers and a platform to further increase Farfetch's global brand awareness externally, it is also a great opportunity to showcase the strategic importance the Treasury team plays in supporting Farfetch strategy. The whole Group Treasury team and our fellow Farfetchers are honored and delighted to celebrate our joint success. It is not a single team's achievement, I must say. All along the way, we had support from the wider finance function, which provided valuable advice on the technical accounting aspects of recognition of these cash investments. Winning the award demonstrated the true value of teamwork, a fundamental value here at Farfetch. It also raised the profile of the Treasury team and the awareness of what we do on the daily basis. Traditionally, there is a lot of focus on sales and customer metrics. Both are of paramount importance for a company operating in extremely competitive e-commerce space. Yet, the Treasury team invests considerable amount of time and effort in cash flow forecasting. Therefore, it is exciting being able to deliver a powerful message, a message that robust cash flow forecasting as a tool for managing working capital and liquidity is important not only when cash is scarce, but also when there is surplus cash to manage. The prior policy of investing in liquidity money market funds and term deposits suited us for several years due to lower level of surplus cash. However, in 2020, Farfetch built up a considerable cash reserves of approximately $1.5 billion. Against the backdrop of near-zero global interest rates, the Treasury team faced many challenges in managing the substantial cash reserve while ensuring our key Treasury objectives were met. Liquidity needed to be available not only to fund working capital and capital expenditures, but also to finance the company's ongoing growth strategy. Simply locking cash in long-term deposits was not an option. We also needed an investment solution that remained risk conservative, but would simultaneously generate enhanced yield. I suppose as everyone else in a similar scenario, we wanted our cash to work harder, thereby reducing the cost of carry on our debt. This challenge was compounded given the current outlook for US dollar rates. We started placing funds in notice accounts as they offered relatively high interest rates, while not being too restrictive in terms of liquidity. However, that was only a temporary measure. The existing investment policy had not been reviewed for some time and was highly restrictive in terms of permitted investments. We were only allowed to invest in AAA-rated money market funds. This led to a decline in the average interest rate, in line with almost zero interest rates globally, and the pandemic. As for the bank term deposits and notice accounts, counterparty limits were also challenging, given the materially higher levels of cash that Farfetch was running. As we already had an established cash concentration mechanism in the form of a notional pool and a robust cash flow forecasting process, it was relatively simple to analyze our short and long-term liquidity requirements. We segmented our cash into operational, reserve, and strategic buckets, making it easier for the team to optimize our investment approach across different solutions with different investment horizons. The next step was scouting for information. Initially, we turned to our existing investment and risk management partners and had several talks to gain better understanding of our options. The AAA-rated money market funds ticked the security and liquidity boxes, but the yields were not a sight for sore eyes. We already had successful relationship with JP Morgan in FX, so we turned to their asset management function for additional advice on how we could meet our goals outside of the liquidity money market funds or bank deposits. We had several sessions with JP Morgan team discussing our existing investment policy and what other corporates do in similar conditions. This is how we started considering these step-out strategies. Those ultra-short and short investment products were not permitted under our investment policy, so we had to change our policy, which required approval from the board, which in turn meant seeking the prior support of the CFO. And the key in getting the CFO support was agreeing acceptable levels of risk. Not so much in terms of credit risk, but mainly in terms of interest rate risk. Generally, the longer the duration of a portfolio, the higher its return over the long term. However, the volatility of those returns is usually greater in the short term. To determine those acceptable levels of risk, although history is not 100% reliable measure of future performance, we got comfortable reviewing historic performance metrics of strategies or portfolios of different durations. For us, the historic frequency of negative returns was key beyond the historic rolling worst average returns. For instance, we wanted to know what are the chances that since inception an investor would have experienced a negative return over, say, any 1 month investment period, and at what average loss, and how long would you have needed to hold the investment for to avoid the negative return altogether. This was key for us to get comfortable around the liquidity risk and determine if we wanted to sell the asset, how long would we need to hold it for to ensure we preserve the principal. Those ultra-short funds still carry a lot of liquidity, but if the value of the investment is below par, having an idea of how long you're likely to need to hold it for before you can sell and recoup all your investment is key. Security and liquidity are still our core investment principles. It is also fundamental to agree those key risk parameters and have them clearly set out in the policy, so that the Treasury function can then take investment decisions more effectively, timely, without seeking approval for each investment. And that way you also avoid surprises later down the line. Lastly, we conducted a review of our peers to get key internal stakeholders comfortable that what we were proposing was not unheard of, especially in the US. Equipped with all the analysis of an optimal risk-return liquidity blend with greater performance, we presented our case for the board approval. Ultimately, the CFO and the board approved the changes to the permitted investments and the counterparty limits. It is crucial to start early and allocate enough time to a project like this. You quickly find out that there is no agreed terminology in this space, making the review and comparison of potential solutions across different providers slightly more challenging. It is very important to agree what the acceptable levels of risk are and have them formalized into a policy. And if you need to review the policy, as was the case for us, be clear and transparent. Engage the board early to test appetite for change and to avoid surprises further down the line. Work with the wider finance team to determine whether there will be a change in the classification of these cash investments and assess the potential impact on financial covenants. It comes without saying that you should define your goals and conduct thorough assessment of the risk-reward profile of what you're planning to achieve. If your organization has sizable surplus of strategic cash reserves, then such multi-investment solution would bring considerable benefits if implemented correctly. Whereas lower operational reserves and working capital commitments may not necessarily result in the favorable outcome. And this is when I have to repeat that cash flow forecasting is an extremely helpful tool to segment the cash in order to make a judged decision. I am extremely happy we already had the forecast and the headroom model in place. And last but not least, we learned that the Treasury technology, such as portals for money market funds or multi-bank, multi-asset trading platforms, are valuable tools in the portfolio of the modern treasurer. But the importance of the relationship with your money market funds, asset managers or banking counterparties must not be underestimated. JP Morgan Asset Management team were considerate to our needs and provided all the necessary insight during all the stages of the project, allowing Farfetch to find the best solution in the shortest period of time.
And now it's time for a word from their partner.
Hi, my name is Richard Ayrton and I'm a client advisor within the global liquidity business at JP Morgan Asset Management, and I'm responsible for managing relationships with our corporate clients. We supported Farfetch in a number of ways. We worked with the client by helping them review their investment policy and provided some feedback based on what else we're seeing in the market. As part of the returns and risk analysis Farfetch were running, we also provided some historical data to give them a better feel of the variability of returns and what to expect. We were also able to help compare this strategy across other strategies in the fixed income space to provide some additional perspective. Through our peer view investor survey, we shared the feedback of over 350 chief investment officers and treasurers across multiple sectors and global regions, and this provided some insight into what other corporates were doing, particularly at a time of ultra-low interest rates. Taking Farfetch's liquidity profile into consideration and the level of credit and duration risk they were comfortable with, we were able to be very transparent about the types of investment strategy that would be best suited for them. I think primarily, we really listened to the client and provided a range of information and data across several one-to-one meetings. Most importantly, though, I think was the ability for us to offer a multi-layered solution based on Farfetch's liquidity position and their ability to segment cash into operational and strategic buckets. We were able to provide really a one-stop solution across both money market funds and the ultra-short duration space. But overall, I think, we listened to the priorities of the client. We incorporated their liquidity position, and understood their performance objectives and risk parameters, and we delivered an investment solution across multiple strategies. I think really all of the above culminated in a winning solution.
Next up, we have our first highly commended award in this category.
There are two highly commended winners in this category. The first is Marion, Assistant Treasurer, and Malcolm Grant, Head of Treasury at International Organization for Migration.
Hi, I'm Marion Barré, Senior Treasury Officer at the International Organization for Migration.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Grant, Chief of Treasury at the International Organization, and we are the highly commended winner of the Best Investing Solution Award.
Winning this award is a recognition for our hard work to diversify and integrate a strong ESG component into our investment portfolio. IOM is a leading intergovernmental organization in the field of migration, and we are entirely pre-funded. Cash is collected before the beginning of our project, and IOM is cash-rich. It is why investment is a central topic for IOM Treasury. We completely redesigned our investment strategy to diversify our portfolio that was mainly invested in term deposit with banks. Because it's also in our DNA to enhance the UN Sustainable Development Goals, our new investment strategy was engaged in the integration of this key element. And this award is really the appreciation of our peers for our new investment strategy.
As well as peer recognition, in common with Treasury departments in corporates and non-profits, Treasury is not always well understood and sometimes not fully appreciated. This award has really helped shine a light on what we do inside in our organization, which is a tremendous help in engaging colleagues for support and recognition.
The biggest challenge for us was to find alternatives to unsecured bank deposit, but alternative compatible with our strict investment policy, a short-term horizon, high-grade counterparties, and best-in-class ESG ratings. It was also key for us to have access to multiple names in order to diversify our counterparty risk.
We needed a low admin solution, delivering high quality services and a platform that enabled us to quickly get on board with the products we needed. And that in the context of a very rapidly expanding balance sheet, which has really accelerated the need for diversification amongst our assets. And we picked up on this particular product and it was highlighted further through an article in Treasury today, which helped us plant the seed.
Treasury Spring platform provides a unique opportunity for us to invest in the same way as the largest and most sophisticated global treasury teams. Treasury Springs is helping us to find counterparties that are matching our investment criteria, but also our sustainable investment goals. And they are really working with us end by end to provide best services. Diversification is a key element in an investment strategy. And for us, the big learning point of this project was that diversification should not be accessible only to big corporates with global treasury teams. It was very important to us to allocate our investment across various sectors and financial instruments, and this platform was helping us to do it.
I think Marion said it all very well. The one extra learning thing or focus that we have got from this is an increased appreciation of the variance between risk-adjusted yields, looking at different class of issuers, which this product has enabled us to work with.
And now we have our second highly commended award winner.
The second highly commended winner is Stuart Fitzsimmons, Treasury Manager, and Becki Carroll, Front Office Treasury Dealer at Whitbread Group.
Hi, my name is Becki Carroll. I'm a front office treasury dealer for Whitbread Group PLC. Winning this award for our team is brilliant because our company recognises the hard work we're doing. Because we're a small team, there's only 3 of us currently, because we're looking for new ways to improve our efficiencies and good practices and time saving. As it goes out towards all of our board, it just gives our small team a bit of recognition in a large company. The biggest challenge I faced with this project was an internal challenge. It was trying to get our IT department to get on board with it and give us the help we needed to set it all up. Through meetings with various people, and we were explaining how it all worked and how it was all flowing through our treasury management system, so there was no risk anywhere. And once we explained the solution to them, they were completely happy with it. The single biggest learning point really was that there's always changes you can make for time saving when you think your team is running to the best it can. When someone like Goldman Sachs comes up with a new solution for you, it's just to listen to what people advise and what they have to offer, because it really can save you time. It can make everything a lot less risky without manual intervention. So that was probably our biggest learning point.
And now it's time for a word from their partners.
My name is Tim Broadley. I'm an Executive Director in Goldman Sachs Asset Management in the Liquidity Solutions client business. My main responsibility is leading the Mosaic partnership strategy and integration. We have provided liquidity solutions to Whitbread since 2019, and following initial onboarding into our money market funds, it became apparent there was potential improvements that could be made in their processes. Whitbread Treasury team have been very focused on internal controls, minimise operational risk, reducing manual work and building cohesion between the different systems they use within their Treasury team. During the process, we worked with them to identify the main pain points and prioritise and overlay them with our capabilities and solutions that our money market fund trading platform, Mosaic, could bring, particularly around control features and our integration capabilities to help Whitbread in the journey in achieving their goals of a full end-to-end process for their money market fund investments. One of the key areas we learned as we progressed was that Whitbread have a very robust and detailed internal control policy, particularly when they are using external vendors. And together with their Treasury team, we ensured their end solution met with their standards of their internal procurement team and SOC requirements. Together with working with their other vendors, their Treasury management systems, we were able to map out a full end-to-end automated solution and coordinated the implementation, testing and sign-off between all three parties, which was particularly challenging during the last year given the pandemic. Historically, Whitbread had a very manual process to manage the liquidity trading for multiple entities with a number of money market fund providers, and then manually rebooking those trades into their Treasury management system to initiate fund payments. With a lean Treasury team, increased volatility with cash flows due to the pandemic, and the added challenge of working remotely, Whitbread wanted to automate the investment process, reduce operational risk, at the same time increasing controls and implement system connectivity within their cash management process. The last year has been an unprecedented challenge for companies like Whitbread that operate in the hospitality sector. COVID-19 forced the team to quickly transition to working from home, and during that period it reinforced and highlighted the importance of reducing operational risk, automating their processes and streamlining their existing processes. Whitbread implemented Goldman Sachs Mosaic portal to trade and manage the liquidity fund investments across all of their money market fund providers on a single system that would integrate seamlessly with their existing Treasury management system provider, including single sign-on access from their Treasury management system. Whitbread implementation of the Mosaic platform significantly reduced the operational risk associated with manual processes, while also increasing controls and providing a more robust governance for cash management. The full system integration between the Mosaic platform and the Treasury management system not only created efficiencies, it also increased visibility and transparency of Whitbread's cash balances, allowing the team to be more active while managing their cash. In these turbulent times, it has been essential for Whitbread to have greater control, efficiencies and real-time feedback for their cash management across systems for all their team members and senior management. By modernising their investment process and fully integrating the Mosaic portal with their Treasury management system, the team demonstrated the importance of having a robust process for investing and managing their liquidity. It has enabled Whitbread to focus on the more value-added initiatives as a Treasury team and provided support for their broader business, all while working remotely and navigating an uncertain post-COVID economy.
Hi, my name is Becki and I'm the Global Head of Sales and Account Management for Ion Treasury. We support our existing customers using our 7 TMS solutions, as well as working with new clients looking to invest in a TMS to support their processes. We supported our client Whitbread, who was looking for a money market fund investment solution right from the beginning in terms of their initial discussions, looking to understand their requirements for money market fund investments, how they were looking to invest their excess cash, what they were looking for in terms of an integration perspective, and all the way through to tracking and reporting within the TMS. The way that we did this was we collaborated directly with our client Whitbread. We brought in Goldman Sachs as our partner, who was able to offer them the solution with their Goldman Sachs Mosaic portal. And we looked to understand what their requirements were in terms of the funds that they were looking to invest in, what kind of integration they were looking to achieve, and then ensuring that we could have the full end-to-end process from understanding where their excess cash is in their cash flow forecast, all the way through to trade requisition and execution. understanding the prices coming directly from the Goldman Sachs Mosaic portal, and then all the way through to updating the cash position. I think the most important element of this solution is the single sign-on and seamless integration between the TMS, in this case Reval, and the Goldman Sachs Mosaic portal. We're able to offer Whitbread that direct access to analytics in terms of understanding what funds are available, what the prices that they would be able to execute on, and then supporting real-time workflow integration across the trade execution, trade activity, and then all the way through to the confirmation and pricing. The way that we did this, as I mentioned before, is really enabling Whitbread to have that two-way integration. So understanding their excess cash all the way through to engaging directly with Goldman Sachs Mosaic portal, obtaining the pricing, obtaining the analytics, and then feeding that back into Reval to update the cash position. This then enables Whitbread to have a single source of truth and one central location for all of their end-to-end processes around money market fund investments.
A huge congratulations to all our Adam Smith Award winners. And thank you for listening to this episode of our dedicated Adam Smith Awards podcast series, brought to you by the Treasury Today Group. More episodes will be coming soon, featuring other award winners. So please subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated.